Yesterday, our local hiking group, the Tennessee Trails Association Clarksville chapter, gave three of us a send-off as we are about ready to embark on our hike of the Appalachian Trail. I'll show you photos of Gadget and Mosey in a little while, but two of our highlights of our meeting last night was one, Jeff Gramlich, a 2019 through hiker named Farmer, gave us a wonderful presentation, and I'll show you bits of that in another video. But an opportunity that I had that was so special to me was for J.R. Tate, otherwise known as Model T, a through hiker, a four-time through hiker and author, came down from Kentucky to see us off, and that just meant an awful lot to me. So I would like to show you the interview that he was gracious enough to provide. I am so excited today to have with me J.R. Tate, otherwise known as
Model T.
Model T. And what year did you hike?
Well, I did my first through hike in 1990, and then 94 I went back and did it again. In 98 I did it again, and in 2006 my fourth through hike. And my wife says I don't have good sense, and she's probably right.
Well, do you ever think of maybe going on some section hikes?
Yes, but at age 85, it doesn't seem as appealing as it used to, so I'll probably say homegrown tomatoes.
Alrighty. Well, what made you have the desire to go so many times?
Well, Cindy, the first time was the challenge. Been a retired Marine officer, and it was out there. I had to go try it because in 1990, 1 in 10 that started made it all the way. And then I got the itch, and I put it off for 4 years, and then another 4 years, and finally 2006 I said I got to go do it one more time.
One more time. Okay. So what was your favorite day? Can you pick a day out of all four of those times?
My favorite day was probably the day I climbed Mount Katahdin and finished. It was really a bittersweet feeling, though. I was so glad I didn't have to carry that pack another day, but I knew that all the friendships I'd made, we were all going to go our separate ways, and those glorious sunrises and sunsets from mountaintops, I probably wouldn't see them again unless I drove to the mountaintops. But I can't think of many days that weren't my best days on the trail. Of course, the weather, you got to remember that eventually the sun will shine, and so you just work through those kind of days.
Okay, good answer. I love that because I hear there's an awful lot of rain out there. Okay, do you have any advice that you would give people going for their first time this year?
Well, a couple of things. Number one, listen to your body. That's the smartest thing you can do. If you're hurting, you're either carrying too much weight or you need to slow down a little bit. Do lesser miles until you build back up to it. The second thing is to set goals. Don't make the big goal to get to the end of the trail at Mount Katahdin. Set your goals next town, over the next mountain. Little goals will build into big goals, and finally you'll reach the major goal.
That's great.
Finishing the trail. And one other thing I would probably mention, you will have bad days out there. You'll have many bad days, and you will be tempted to just call it quits and go home. But if you will work through those days, believe me, they will get better. I don't know how many times I looked for a way that I could go home and save face, but I just worked through it, and I was so glad that I did.
That's great. We're glad you did too. You actually have become an author, right?
I've written a couple of books, yes.
Okay. Do you want to tell us the names?
Well, my first book was called Walking on the Happy Side of Misery. It was about my first through hike in 1990, and at the end of 3 through hikes, I kept meaning to look into things, get the history of things that I'd seen on the trail, and I got busy when I got home, never did, so I finally decided at the end of that third through hike I was just going to sit down and try to research a book about the things that you see along the trail, some of the historical facts behind it, and I thought it'd be a little more meaningful for people, because sometimes you pass something, you look at, oh, that's pretty, but you have no clue about what you're looking at. And there's a lot along the trail that is worth looking at and knowing the history of.
Okay, and what's the name of that book?
Walking with the Ghost Whisperers.
Walking with the Ghost Whisperers. Okay.
I called it that because when you walk through certain sections of the trail, it's just like the ghost of history are whispering at you and say, look at this, look at this. Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you so much for this interview.
Let me say, I wish you great success on this hike, and I hope you get as much enjoyment out of it as I have.
Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate you.